Welcome to the Pattern Recognizer. Most people are running programs they never chose. Today we expose one of those patterns, see exactly how it works, and discover the precise shift that can set you free. Let's begin. Notice this. A single habitual glance. What you check first when a bill arrives, or the question you ask yourself in a mirror, predicts entire years of your life. Tiny habitual glances act like anchors. They gather weight, and the weight shapes everything. Who you love, how you earn, how you choose suffering or ease. Most people don't see it because they're living inside it. I call this shape the Tetrahedron of Attention. 4 habitual vertices: self-image, ancestral obligation, defensive fear, and projected desire lock together and build a stable life shape. Today I will name the pattern, reveal both the psychological and esoteric mechanisms that hold it in place, and give you one precise daily practice, the 7-minute vertex reset that rotates a corner and reorients the whole structure. One shift changes everything. First, the psychological mechanism. Habits of attention become identity tellers. When you habitually attend to your self-image, what you must appear to be, you shape decisions around maintaining that image. You save for appearances, or you avoid risks that contradict the image. When ancestral obligation sits on a vertex, invisible scripts, family expectations, inherited shame, duty, pull your choices toward repetition. Defensive fear is the attention that scans for threats, and it privileges safety over possibility. Projected desire is attention that lives in future outcomes, the fantasy of who you will be if you achieve this or that, and it organizes effort around future rescue. Those 4 tendencies interact as feedback loops. A choice made to protect an image creates reinforcement. The world responds, the image feels real, and the next decision is easier. Obligation begets compliance. Compliance becomes habit. Habit becomes identity. Fear narrows options. Desire distracts from present competence. Over time, decision inertia sets in. You no longer choose so much as follow the edges of the tetrahedron. Consider money and relationships. If self-image is dominant, you buy status, keep toxic relationships because they affirm who you are, and you avoid vulnerability. If ancestral obligation dominates, you prioritize lineage and approval. Your finances and alliances reflect family scripts. If defensive fear holds sway, you hoard, you avoid risk, you stay small. If projected desire rules, you chase big future promises. The next promotion, the partner who will save you, while missing the structural work under your feet. See how small focus becomes the architect of an entire life? Now the esoteric mechanism, how sacred geometry explains the same dynamics with energetic precision. A tetrahedron is the simplest 3-dimensional stable structure, 4 points, 6 edges. Each vertex exerts an energetic vector. Attention is energy, pulling the field into a balanced form. When the vertices are aligned around limiting meanings, they stabilize the pattern. Resonance occurs. The more attention you place on a vertex, the more the field resonates to reinforce that vector. If one vertex grows heavier, the tetrahedron tilts, and the rest rearrange to preserve equilibrium. Those are not mere metaphors. Ancient alchemical traditions Rosicrucian attention practices, Stoic concentration, Zen pointing, use concentration to reweight energetic nodes in the subtle field. When you intentionally shift attention, you change resonance. Geometric stabilizers, ritual, breath, repeated inspection, act like rewiring. They alter the vector strengths and allow collapse of limiting forms. That's the mechanism. That's the reason repeated insight without reorientation often fails. Insight alone leaves the tetrahedron intact. Here's the reframe. Imagine your mind as a tetrahedron ship on an ocean of possibility. Each vertex is a mast pulling you a direction. If the mast called fear tightens its lines, the hull turns toward the nearest harbor of safety, predictable, small, familiar. If the mast called desire unfurls, you chase distant shores and miss the currents under the keel. Stoicism teaches steady hand on the tiller. Taoism teaches alignment with the current Wu Wei. The practical fusion, rotate the mast, don't demolish it. Small rotation, whole ship changes course. Now the daily shift, the vertex reset. You take 7 minutes. Do this each morning for 30 days and use the quick check metric. After 2 weeks, you will notice one decision that no longer lands in the old groove. If you see that early change, you know the reset is working. Here's the step-by-step script. Minute 0, settle, sit upright, feet grounded, close your eyes for a breath. Minute 1, inspect. Ask silently which vertex is loudest. Name it self-image, obligation, fear, or desire. Don't analyze, label. Minute 2, wait. Place attention on that vertex for 60 seconds. Notice bodily sensations, the images, the habitual sentence that plays. Minute 3, breathe into the vertex. 6 counts in, 6 counts out, softening the edges of identification. Minute 4, rotate. Intend a small rotation of 90 degrees. Imagine the vertex lifting and moving to a new angle. Do not erase it, reposition its influence. Minute 5, anchor. Choose a counter vertex to strengthen for 1 breath. Compassion if fear was loud. Present competence if desire ran away. Minute 6, test. Visualize a small, real decision you might have made today. Observe how the imagined choice now lands with different weight. Minute 7, commit. Whisper your 1-sentence instruction to the day, 2 to 8 words. Then open your eyes. That's the reset. Do it daily. A quick check. After 2 weeks, pick 3 ordinary decisions. What you spend on coffee, the call you make, an answer to a partner, and notice whether the old default presses as hard. Write 1 line. Today I chose differently because if you can feel that line, the tetrahedron has begun to rotate. If nothing changes, keep practicing. Attention is stubborn but malleable. Recap 4 vertices. Self-image, obligation, fear, desire, assemble into a tetrahedron of attention. Psychologically, they form identity tethers and feedback loops. Esoterically, they act as energetic vectors, stabilized by resonance. The practical lever is attention. Rotate 1 vertex with a disciplined practice, and the whole structure reorients. 1 shift changes everything. The pattern is the prison. Awareness is the key. If you want deeper protocols, multi-vertex resets, week-long geometric realignments, and the complete architecture behind every pattern, explore my full library at Desmarques.com. There you will find worksheets, audio-guided resets, and chapter-length practices that map these mechanisms onto money, love, and meaning. Awareness first. Action second. That is the pattern, that is the mechanism, and that is your shift today. If you're ready to decode the full architecture of your life, explore my complete library at Desmarques.com.